record. So everyone is on the record. And it's fabulous to have everybody here. So I'll be looking in the two places today to make sure that I get the Facebook comments, plus I get the Zoom. I love people being in the Zoom room. So if you get the chance, jump in the Zoom room as well, because I get to see your faces. I can calibrate, make sure I haven't left anybody behind. And it's just more fun because we can talk and stuff, which is really, really cool. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. So if you've got any browsers on, or if you have your do not disturb off, maybe pop it on if you would like to. It just helps to decrease any distractions from the masterclass. So that's always handy to have. If you are coming into the Zoom room, or you decide to come into the Zoom room, if you could pop yourselves on mute, that would be fabulous. It just helps if there's any dogs barking, kids crying in the background. Helps to distract us all. We don't want that. Helps to distract us all. I'm a bit excited. My tongue's running away with me. You know what I'm like. And while you are here, I love, love, love active participation, guys. So if you are able to, please put your questions, your comments. Hi, Lynn, how are you going? If you could put your questions, your comments, any shares that you have in the comments of the in the Facebook group, or if you're in the Zoom room, if you could pop your hand up and take yourself off mute and ask your questions or share what it is that you want to share. Would be awesome. Hi, Liz. Liz is already in the Self-Care Matters program. She was all in from the get-go. So go, Liz. So that's awesome. Awesome to have you here. So comment, interact. I thrive. Hi, Shirley. I thrive on having people interact with me. Like, part of my human design is to respond. And I do that really, really well when you guys give me something to respond to. So please interact as much as possible. I love having you all here. I love hearing your comments. I love hearing your aha moments. So please make sure that you share them while you're here. Okay, well, without further ado, we'll get cracking because it's 7:05 and I don't want to keep you all night. Okay, so this masterclass is all about the real self-care that matters. Now, ladies, we are taking over the world. We are diving in to our feminine energy and we are loving it. And we are raising the next generation who are going to be the most woke generation, the most aware generation that has ever been. They're the most informed and they need our help. And we cannot do it from empty cups. So let's learn how to fill those cups up. Who's with me? Let's have some hearts. Let's have some thumbs up. Excellent. Hi, Ines. How are you going? Good to see you here. Yep. So we can't do this on empty cups or with empty cups. We need to learn how to consistently. Look, I'm showered with love and affection on the Facebooks. I love it. Thank you. We need to learn how to feed the self-care piggy bank, not wait until we've got nothing left and go, uh-oh, I've got nothing. And you're scraping the bottom of the emotional barrel. That's when we start getting reactive. That's when we start doing the things that we know aren't us. So when we learn how to feed the piggy bank, feed the self-care piggy bank, we can give from overflow as opposed to getting the dregs out of the emotional barrel. Does that sound good? Let's do this. Excellent. So whenever I do that, guys, just give me hearts and thumbs and stuff. That would be amazing. Excellent. Okay. So my cup flows over to my family. Excellent, Lynn. Absolutely. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. But we want to give from overflow. Heck yeah, says Ines. Brilliant. Excellent. Excellent. So I would love to know, give me a heart or a thumbs up in the Facebooks. And Jeanette, as my one and only Zoom room participant at the moment, show of hands. So give me a thumbs up if you do, and maybe a sad face if you don't. Who regularly attends their own self-care? So I'll just give you a minute to do either a sad face or a thumbs up. So Carla's given me a heart, which is amazing. So Carla tends to do a self-care regularly. I think that was Liz Nielsen has a thumbs up. Lynn's given me a thumbs up. That's brilliant. Oh, someone's given me a sad face. Yeah. So, yeah. So Jeanette's given me a thumbs up. Amelia's given me a heart. That is brilliant. So it's most of us actively and consciously tend to some self-care in some way, shape, or form. Intermittent self-care in us. Yep, absolutely. That could be kind of when it's kind of like when the petrol light is going over to the E and the petrol light comes on, you think, oh shit, but do some self-care now. Like is that what it's like? Jacinta's got a sad face. Cherie's got a half and half. Liz is just driving home from a sauna. So yes, that does sound like some self-care. I do hang a little bit of rubbish on like the green smoothies and the yoga and the saunas and things like that. But there is a place for it in self-care, 100%. And we're going to be talking about that in this masterclass as well. So it's not the only thing. And I think that that's where the illusion of self-care comes from. We think that it's all about doing the stuff outside of us, getting the massages, etc. Massages, nails done, facials, that's self-care. There is a lot more deeper work that is involved in the real self-care that's going to make a big difference to how you feel about things. So that's awesome. So we're kind of a little bit half and half, I think, on the self-care front. So that's awesome. So a little bit of interaction now, a little bit of typing involved maybe. Who can tell me what self-care is? So what is a definition of self-care for you guys? So Amelia says, I used to wait until I was below empty and then wondered why I was constantly so overwhelmed. Brilliant insight, Amelia. And yeah, it's kind of like you've run out of petrol and then you're standing on the side of the road waiting for RACV to come and fill you back up again with the jerry can, just enough to get going and to get home again, right? I hear you. So yeah, so who can tell me what self-care is? Does anyone have a definition of self-care that they would like to share? So Facebookers, if you could pop that in the comments for me, that would be amazing. The Zoom room, if you'd like to tap something out, or even if you want to go off mute. So Lynn says, looking after myself emotionally, spiritually, and physically, not just nice nails. Absolutely. And I know, Lynn, you've got very nice nails. It's so funny. When I started getting my nails done, it was because I was modeling coaches who I admired and who I wanted to take aspects, like I wanted to do what they did. And Lynn, you were up there as well. So you're there, sister. You're up there with it. So Jeanette says, doing things that take care of my body, mind, and spirit. Excellent. Shelley's here. Hi, Shelley. Good to see you. So anyone else got any ideas on what a definition of self-care is? So Ina says, things that bring me joy and help settle my nervous system. The glimmers add up. Good. Investing in my future self. Yes, you did tell me that, Liz, when I did a little poll. Oh, the things add up. Absolutely. Oh, Lynn's modeled me too. Oh, it's a love fest. It's a love fest. Yeah, okay. We'll get a room later, Lynn. Excellent. Okay, yep. So things that bring you joy, settle your nervous system. That's absolutely a part of it in us as well. Putting your needs first before helping others. Oh, putting on your own oxygen mask, Cherie. I like that. So yeah, looking after yourself emotionally, spiritually, physically. So you ladies are getting it. Like, so you're getting that it's just more than the physical stuff. It's actually emotional well-being as well, which is awesome. So Carla says, I do daily self-yoga, the ancient stuff, not pulling shapes. It's reconnecting my mind with my body, breath, and heart so I show up the best I can. I love that. Love that. Love that. And Amelia says, self-care for me is doing what I need for my mind and body. Not overextending myself, learning how to set and stick with boundaries. Yes, and nails once a month. But for the most part, it's basically doing what I need for myself. I'm loving how the nails are coming into it. So just for the record, I'm going to Rocky Horror on Sunday. So I've got very awesome Rocky Horror-esque nails happening this week. So I'm pretty proud of them. I'm not sure what work we'll make of it, but who cares? I'm only there 2 nights a week. So I'm not doing my whole nail regime around work, that's for sure. Excellent. So we're getting a pretty good idea of what self-care is. So that's awesome. So, through my own battles with self-care over the years, no, can't go wrong with sparkles, Amelia, absolutely. So my own battles with self-care um, in the last 10, 12 years really had me thinking about what self-care really truly is. And it wasn't until I started doing the work. So it wasn't until I joined coaching school a couple of years ago and I started learning about what's really important and how to really look after myself. Did I really put it together in a way that came under the umbrella of self-care? So cast your minds back to say 2011, 2012. I had a 5-year-old. I had a 3-year-old who was just diagnosed with autism and intellectual disability. I was working nights as a nurse and I was feeling pretty overwhelmed with everything. I was drowning in autism paperwork. There's so many boxes you need to tick when your child gets diagnosed, has a lifelong diagnosis like autism. I was overwhelmed with the appointments that I needed to keep. I was carrying a lot of the mental load. So not only did I have family and work to contend with, I also had this now piled on top of me as well. And I was feeling really overwhelmed and I was feeling really shit about things. I was feeling really crappy about where my life was. And I actually turned into a bit of a pain in the backside, if I'm honest, to be around. So I didn't know how to process or how to channel what was going on with me. And so hi Annette. So I would become the victim. I would be like, poor me, like no one else in my mother's group had anything going on like this. So I was like, poor me. I don't know how I'm going to manage all of this. I don't know what I'm doing. I would be really, really reactive. I'd be blaming my husband for pretty much breathing or anything that went wrong. He copped the finger of blame. My daughter copped it to a certain degree as well. I was very reactive. I was very much the victim. And I was also very much the martyr as well. So if anyone tried to come in and help, I'd be like, oh, no, I'll do it. No one else can do it. I'll do it. And so I martyred myself as well. And so in amongst all of this, people feeling sorry for me and blah, 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 blah. And they would say, you really need to look after yourself. You really need to tap into some self-care. And I was like, okay, cool, I will do that. And so, when kids were at preschool and school, I thought, right, I'd take myself off to the movies. So I'd take myself off to the movies and that would distract me for an hour or two. And then I'd be back exactly where I started from. I would buy myself massages and I'd go to Endota and I'd have this massage. And while I'm lying there and she's doing her thing, I'd be like, tick, 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 all of the things, tick, 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 tick. Oh, when I go back, I still have to do this. I still have to do this. I've got this on tomorrow and la, la, la. And I suppose I'm going to have to do that, aren't I? Did it. And so it wasn't helping my state. It wasn't helping how I was feeling. So I was trying to grab all of the things from outside of me to try and make me feel better. But inside was chaos. Inside was three monkeys all throwing, juggling batons at each other. Like it was a circus inside my mind and inside my body. I was really what I would now describe as dysregulated. My nervous system was all over the place and there was just no sense of calm in me at all. And I had no awareness around what it was I was feeling. And I had no awareness around what I needed. I thought what I needed was a massage and to go to the movies. But I tried that and it didn't work. So fast forward to, what are we in now? So fast forward to 2022. I'm into human design. I've started my own business. I'm going to coaching school. And I started to piece together what it was that I was searching for in those moments when I was feeling the victim, when I was being reactive, when inside me was feeling chaotic. The more that I was in touch with what's going on in here and in my body, I realized how much of a train wreck I was back in those days when I was reactive, when I was blaming, when I was the victim, when I was the martyr. And I had a lot more awareness around what it was that I was actually seeking in those moments. So it really got me thinking about self care, what self care really means, and what do we do it for? Like, what is the end goal of self care? Why is it important? Why do we even do it? What is it we're seeking when we do self care? So let's have a look and see what some of the experts have to say about self care. So we have, oh, there's my very helpful introduction slide, which I didn't use. Thank you, Lynn. I hope that people resonated with that. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you resonated with that story as well. Like, I'd love to know if I'm not the only one. Is it just me? Should I just end this here? So, the National Institute of Mental Health says that self-care means taking the time. Oh, thank you, everyone. That's beautiful. Thank you. I feel loved. I feel seen. Thank you. That's awesome. So, the National Institute of Mental Health said self-care means taking the time to do the things that help you live well and improve both your physical and mental health. That's awesome. What on earth is that? Like, that could be any one of 100 different things. And it doesn't actually tell us how we're meant to feel at the end of it. So I thought that that was mildly helpful, but not overly descriptive in what it is that we're seeking when it comes to the self-care that really matters. That's going to actually affect how we feel. So I then thought about what is the ultimate end goal of participating in self-care. That was the next thing that went on the Google list. So I thought, what is it that everyone is after when they participate in self-care? So the best one that I found was this social work website, is to reduce stress and maintain and enhance our short and longer term health and well-being. Again, not overly helpful. It sounds great, but yeah, what on earth is it? Like, what is the end goal? We want to maintain and enhance our short-term health and well-being, but what does that mean? What are we meant to feel at the end of it? So in thinking back of all the things that I was seeking when I was the victim, the martyr, reactive, there was internal chaos going on constantly. The one thing that I was seeking was inner peace. That's what I was after. Inner peace, a sense of calm, and knowing that I could handle shit. That was what I was after in those moments when people were telling me, you need to tend to your own self-care. So once I realized that this is the real self-care that matters, being in a state of calm, feeling inner peace, and knowing you can handle shit, I'm like, right, that's the true end game of self-care. That's what we're all seeking when we're doing the massages, when we're doing the yoga, when we're having coffee with friends. What is it? We're after inner peace. We're after calm. There is nothing more empowering than having like this single silent flame within yourself that is grounded and strong and can't be flickered, despite all of the anarchy and chaos and storm that is going on around you. Knowing that you are good and you're calm and you can handle shit, there is nothing more empowering than that. So once I realized that that's what I was after, I kind of had to reverse engineer it and say, right, how do we get to inner peace? What is it we're after? How do we accomplish it? So I'll just catch up on the comments before I hit you with my awesomeness when it comes to my coaching model. So Amelia said the first thing that comes to my head when I think about why we do self-care is regulation. Absolutely, that is definitely part of the first pillar of self-care, Amelia. Ina says bit wishy-washy an explanation when you're in the thick of it, fried, and don't know what to do next with the limited brain power we have in us. Yes. It when you're tired and fried, you look at that and you think that that doesn't help. It does it just doesn't help. I don't know how to get to that. So tell me how to get to that. Absolutely. Lynn says yes, so good. And Nikki's on. Hi, Nikki. Nikki's my cousin from South Australia. So good to have you here, Nikki. Excellent. So yeah, so what we're after when it comes to self-care, inner peace, calm, and knowing you can handle shit. That is the end game of self-care. When you are looking after yourself, when you feel calm, and when you can give from overflow because you're so peaceful and you're giving to yourself from a really grounded place and you've got overflow, that's true self-care. That is the self-care that matters. All right. So how do we do it? How do we do it? Glad you asked. Here is, drum roll please, everyone. This is the Kerry Thorne hierarchy of self-care needs, and this is what it looks like. Ta-da! There it is. So on the first level, the foundational piece is to get emotional. Sounds weird. I'll explain it. Feel emotional. Feel your feelings. You are allowed to feel what you feel. You feel the way you feel for a very good reason. And when you don't allow your feelings, that's when you start seeking significance and validation elsewhere and in other unresourceful ways, which leads me to the next pillar, which is get needy. Once you have processed your emotions, recognize what your needs are and seek to get them met. Then on the tippy top is the seeking joy. Yay, we're at the massages and green smoothies. But you can see here that there's a whole lot of other foundational work that needs to be done before the yoga and green smoothies are going to make a lick of difference. This tippy top is going to fall right down if we don't do all of this foundational stuff first. It's like when you just do the seeking joy, when you are just looking outside of yourself to fix you, it's just like cutting the top off a weed. It's just going to come straight back up again unless you get everything by the roots and pull it out. And that's when the real self-care kicks in. That's the real self-care that matters. So let's talk about how we get this done. Okay. And please, ladies, if you have any questions in the meantime, please let me know and pop them into the comments on the live, or if you're in the Zoom room, please put them in the chat in the Zoom room or take yourself off mute because it's just you, Jeanette. So Jeanette could be running amok in here if she wanted to, but she's not. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to start with pillar number 1, feel emotional. Now, when I was going through the stuff that I was going through 12, 13, 20, 10 odd years ago, I felt out of control. I felt overwhelmed. I felt sad. I felt angry. There was a lot of things that I was feeling, but I felt like I had no right to feel them. And that's because we have never been taught as children that it is okay to feel what we feel. Oftentimes as children, our emotions were shut down. They were ridiculed. We would get abandoned if we showed them. We'd get ignored. And so we very soon found out that it wasn't okay to feel our feelings. And so when I was going through what I was going through, 10 odd years ago, I thought to myself, I asked for this life. I asked to get married. I asked to get children. I shouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling. I shouldn't be feeling sad. I shouldn't be feeling angry. I shouldn't be feeling overwhelmed. I should be able to handle this. I'm a capable person. And so I avoided it. And the thing is with emotions, emotions are like a tunnel. And you're meant to go into the tunnel, go through the tunnel, and then go out the other side of the tunnel. But when you avoid them, when you tell yourself that they don't matter, when you tell yourself you shouldn't be feeling them, when you don't allow yourself to feel them, it's like going into the tunnel and going, no, this isn't allowed, and then backing out again. Going into the tunnel, no, too dark and scary, backing back out again. And if we actually lent into our emotions and allowed them, we would go through them and we would be out the other side and it would be over with. But we never, ever allow ourselves to do this. Can anyone else relate to this? Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you can relate to this. And there's a bit of bypassing that goes on as well. It's like, oh, no, someone else has got it much worse off than me, so I'm not allowed to feel this bad. All of those things come up, right? So when you feel what you feel, you give yourself permission to feel what you feel. You don't suppress it. You don't deny it. You don't distract yourself from it. When you actually sit with it, let it come over you like a wave in the ocean and then wash over you, feel it fully, then it's done. There are so many side effects from not processing your emotions and not allowing yourself to feel your emotions. Has anyone here heard of the book, The Body Keeps the Score? That is lack of emotional processing. When things have happened to you, when you've had trauma, when you've had experiences that make you feel less than, and you don't process those emotions, you don't sit with them, you don't allow yourself to feel them, they get stored in the body elsewhere, they hide. And years later, you start getting things like backache, neck pain, migraines, autoimmune illnesses like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, migraines. I would say migraines, gut issues, heart issues, all of those things. So unprocessed emotions hide in your body. So they need to be processed. You need to sit with them. Okay? You need to move through that emotional tunnel. So that is the number one cornerstone, or the number one foundational piece of that hierarchy of self-care needs, is to feel what you feel. You're allowed to feel what you feel. So let's just catch up on some of the comments here. So can absolutely relate. Excellent. Melia says, feelings are there to be felt. We can't heal from things until we feel them, as hard and painful as it is to let ourselves feel our feelings. And that's the thing, Amelia. What I want to say to that is, when we allow ourselves to feel our feelings, it's actually over a lot sooner than what you think. I think the processing time of an emotion is 90 seconds. Like when you actually sit with it, feel it fully, and allow it to wash over us. You don't turn away from it. Don't deny yourself from it. It's actually over fairly quickly. And we often don't feel what we feel or allow ourselves to feel what we feel because we think we can't handle it. But they're only feelings. They can't hurt you. So that's the beautiful thing about it. No pressure, Jeanette. It's it taking over the Zoom meeting. Absolutely right. So Ines says, yep, can relate. Would gaslight myself. Oh, Ines, yes. There's a difference between handing stuff and handling stuff. I used to tell myself I had no right to be unhappy. Absolutely, Lynn. Absolutely. Yes, good book. Absolutely. What I was taught as a kid was if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So my whole family never said anything unless it was happy. Oh, that whole bypassing. Oh, yeah, that's hard. Used to push it down, wear non-waterproof makeup to the office to force myself not to cry. Oh, Ines, I'm so sorry. Any wonder I was so unwell last year when I finally allowed myself time and space to feel 40 plus years of trauma and pain. That's deep stuff, Ines. I'm so sorry that all that's happened to you as well. And Michelle has had back issues for years. Hi, Telly. Good to see you here. Absolutely. So yeah, The Body Keeps the Score is a really, really good book if you are wondering the effects of not processing emotions. Another really good book is Gabor Mate's When the Body Says No. That's a fantastic book as well. The Audible version is terrible. The narrator's awful, but the content's fantastic. So yeah, but really, really interesting. He goes right in depth into people who have been chronic people pleasers and the health issues that they've gotten into, especially when it comes to autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis and those sort of things, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, all of those sorts of things. So really, really interesting book as well. So emotional processing, number one thing. That gets us to pillar number 2, which is need to do this a bit quicker. Get needy. Get needy. Know that we have got needs. Know that we have every right to get those needs met. And knowing that having needs doesn't make you needy. You are only going to be as needy as your unmet needs. So don't ever think that you are needy. So what are our needs? Our needs are we need to feel what we feel and we're allowed to feel what we feel. So that's number one need. But there are, Tony Robbins comes to the rescue with this one because Tony has come up with a model called the 6 core human needs. Can anyone, for extra bonus points, tell me what those 6 core human needs are? If there's any other coaches out here, this is like the Bible when it comes to coaching. So Tony Robbins has done the 6 core human needs. Jeanette says belonging. Yeah. Should I give it away? They're all going to come through in the comments very shortly, I'm sure. Recognition. Yep, absolutely. Recognition and importance. Yep, Lynn can. Go for it, Lynn. Yep, certainty. Absolutely. Number 1, we need to feel safe. We need to feel certain. Number 2, uncertainty. Thank you, Lynn. We need some excitement. We need some adventure. We need love and connection and belonging. Growth. Yep, we need growth. Contribution. Absolutely. And number 4 on that list is probably close to what Carla has said, recognition, significance and importance. We all have the right to feel important and significant. That is a core human need. It's not I'd be nice if I got it, but I can do without it. No, it's a need. We need to feel significant. We need to feel important. We need to feel like we matter. So, in the times when I was nitpicking, when I was blaming, when I was being the victim, when I was martyring myself, what need do you think that I was trying to get met in those moments? Anyone in the comments? I was looking for significance. I wanted people to see me. I wanted them to hear me. I wanted to feel important because I didn't feel important, because I didn't think that I was entitled to my emotions. Thank you, Michelle. Recognition, absolutely. As a projector, we know all about that, don't you, Michelle? Validation, absolutely. We needed our feelings validated. We needed to know that it was okay to feel what I was feeling. And I needed that feeling of significance and importance. Yes, Kerry, you matter. Your feelings matter. That's what I was seeking. But I was doing it in a really, really unresourceful and unecological way. I was doing it in a way that got me attention and it got me recognition, but I made everyone around me feel like shit while I was doing it. And I knew in my heart of hearts that it wasn't me. It wasn't who I was. But I didn't know any other way. And thank goodness now I do. So when I'm talking about getting needs met, looking at those 6 core human needs, and when I, in my Self-Care Matters program, in the 4-week program that I'm going to talk to you about at the end of this, we go right into the 6 core human needs, and we also go into some of John Bowlby's attachment needs as well. So that's very interesting as well. So we go into all of these different needs that we may be trying to get met, but we might be doing it in really unresourceful ways. So when you ladies think about the times that you have been nitpicky, the times when you have been passive aggressive, oh, I suppose I'm the only one that can do this, the times that you have been blaming others, the times that you get reactive and you lash out at the kids or the husband or whatever, think about the need that you're not getting met, that you are trying to get met in an unresourceful way. Because as I said, it's not a would be nice to have, it's a need. And come hook or by crook, we will try and get that need met. And in some ways we do it really, really well. Other ways we don't do it so well. So yeah, when you're doing the things that don't feel like you, what need is it that you have that you need to get met? And know that you can get it met yourself. Hi, Kerry, how you going? Know that you can get it, you can meet it yourself, or you can start making the plans to get it met, or you can ask the people who love you, who are around you, to meet it for you. And there are resourceful ways to get that done. When you come from a really good place of effective communication, when you say, what I need from you now is, and you're really, really clear, as opposed to passive aggression, nitpicking, nagging, that gets those needs met. And we have a whole week's worth of content around how to effectively get your needs met, how to recognize them and how to get them met, which is absolutely awesome. So who would love to know that? Thumbs up. What are my needs and how do I effectively get them met? 100%. Another reason why we don't recognize what our needs are is because we feel like we're not allowed to. And I did mention this in a post not so long ago. Thank you for all the love on Facebook. I did mention this in a post a little while ago, and it was that very interesting article that I found called The Good Wife's Guide. We aren't allowed to feel what we feel, and we're not allowed to get our needs met because we're too busy fluffing our husband's pillows and knowing our place. So we are a whole generation of women who were raised by a generation of women where this was the central belief system. Our needs were not important, the children's and the husband's were. So if you ever wonder about the root of where this comes from, if you ever wonder about why is it when I take time for myself, I feel so guilty, if you ever wonder why you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you want to take time out for yourself, it's because this is one of our core beliefs. Whether we consciously or unconsciously saw it or had it modeled to us, this is a big part of our society. And this is why we have trouble getting our needs met now, or feel like we're worthy of getting our needs met. So if you want a good laugh, look up The Good Wife's Guide from Housekeeping Monthly, May 13, 1955. And this is the belief system that our mothers witnessed growing up and hence were passed on, whether they were aware of it or not. So it was very, very interesting to find that, because of course I've done a lot of digging around the whole area of self-care. So yeah, so recognizing that you have needs, recognizing that they are needs, not would be nices. They're core human needs that have every right to be met, and knowing that you can actively seek ways to get them met yourself, or you can ask others to get them met as well. And you can use the 6 core human needs from Tony Robbins as a base of understanding what need that you have that isn't being met. And the way that you know you have a need that isn't being met is when you start getting a little bit snarky, a little bit blamey, a little bit finger pointing. There's a need for significance there, or there is a need for something there, and ask for it and get it. You have every right to it. And then, of course, we have up the tippy top, seek joy. Yay, we're at the green smoothies and yoga part of it. When you have done the emotional processing work, when you have allowed yourself the permission to feel what you feel, don't talk yourself out of it. Don't shy away from it. Allow your body to feel it and get it out of your body. Know that you are worthy of it and know that it is allowed and you've processed it. And in my program, I have lots of ways that I can teach you how to process your emotion really, really effectively. Once you've done that, once you recognize what your unmet needs are and you work towards getting them met, either by yourself or you ask for the help of others to meet them, then we can seek the joy. And this looks different for everybody. What brings me joy may not bring Jeanette joy, may not bring Claire joy, may not bring Amelia joy. And that's the fun part. Finding what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what raises your vibration to happiness, gratitude, joy, abundance, appreciation. That's the fun part of self-care. That's the cherry on the top. That is when you start to overflow. And that's when you can start giving to others from that place of, I have got my shit processed. I feel really calm and centered because I'm getting my needs met. I've got what I need. And now I'm having fun. And now I'm overflowing. And I can give from that place now, not from scraping the bottom of the emotional barrel. I've got it all within me. So that is the self-care hierarchy. And that is the true self-care that matters. How does everyone feel about that? Can I get some comments in the comment section? Does that all make sense? Does that hit home? Does that resonate with people? Excellent. Cherie's giving me the thumbs up. Carla's giving me sparkles. Thanks, Carla. Excellent, excellent. Brilliant. So what I wanted to talk to you about now, if this lit a fire in your belly, if this blew your hair back, if this floated your boat, excellent. Thank you, Amelia. I would love to invite you to join us in the Self-Care Matters program that I have running starting in 12 days time. 12 days, 13 days time. So it starts on the 12th of March. Now everything that I've just spoken about now, I'm actually talking about in the International Women's Day We Rise Network lunch next Friday. So I'm a bit of a big deal when it comes to self-care. Don't know if you know. So this program really is the self-care that matters. And once you learn this stuff, once you practice it on the daily, you will always be feeding that piggy bank. You will never be scraping the bottom of the barrel again, unless you forget to do what it is you'll learn in this program. Okay, so what it includes is, excellent. So week 1, we talk all about emotional processing, why it's important and how to do it, most importantly. None of us learned how to feel our shit when we were kids. None of us taught it to us because our parents didn't know how to process their own emotions. That's why they denied us ours, because they didn't know how to deal with it themselves. So how do we process our emotions? How do we allow ourselves to feel our feelings? Why it's important? How to keep your nervous system calm while processing your stuff as well. So, so important. So emotional processing, why it's important, how we do it. Week number 2, recognizing what it is that you need. asking for what you need in a really resourceful, ecological way that is going to make people want to help you meet your own needs. And what stops us from asking? Oh, this is juicy. This will give you so many aha moments. It'll be like, why am I such a passive aggressive pain in the backside when I ask for things? Why can't I just ask? There is a whole reason why we don't ask for what it is we ask for in a really effective way. It's so good. Clear, open communication. So Cherie says that is great, makes sense, excellent. And Liz is like, definitely got me excited for what's to come. Pamela's going to be there. Yes. Amazing, amazing. You women are going to be self-care queens this time next month. So that's week 2, all about needs. Week 3, finding your joy and what lights you up. What I realized when I did the Soul Ignite and Energetic Ask Hickory program is that a lot of us don't know what it is that we want or what brings us joy. We actually don't know what that is. So week 3, we're going to talk about that. We talk a little bit about human design and what to tap into to find what lights us up and why it is so important to feel good, especially from an energetics law of attraction point of view, because how we feel makes a big, big difference to what we are attracting. And if you don't feel good, you're not going to attract good things to you. So why it's important to do the emotional processing and why it's important to feel good. Really, really important. And then week 4 is boundary setting. Boundaries, whenever you look up anything around self-care, boundaries will always rear its head. You need to have strong boundaries for self-care. And that's because it's true. You do need to have strong boundaries. So why it's important to self-care and moving through what stops us from getting our needs met and attending to true self-care. We don't tend to self-care because we feel guilty. Why do we feel guilty? What are we afraid will happen if we go for exactly what it is we want? I'll let you ponder on that one. That's a good one to chew over. What are you afraid will happen if you did exactly what it is that you wanted to do? Brilliant question. Moving through what stops us. Why don't we tend to self-care? And talking about our inner world and our outer world. And then as an added little bonus, we have a 2-hour-long human design one-on-one unpack. So it highlights how your energy works, how you move through life with the most flow and the least resistance, ways that you can support your self-care. There are actual self-care gates in human design as well. So if you have that in a challenging planet, that could be the reason why you have issues with self-care. And human design is beautiful because it brings you back to the core of who you are, which is what that inner peace and that calm is all about as well. So as a little bonus, and if you have already had a human design unpack with me, we can exchange that for a couple of coaching sessions one-on-one as well to help move you through any challenges that you've got as well. So we can certainly negotiate that because I know a lot of you ladies who are already on here have already had human design readings. So we can certainly exchange that for a couple of coaching sessions, which are enormously helpful, especially when it comes to processing emotions. Like there is nothing like talking to a coach to help you move through your stuff. You think you're able to do it yourself, so much more helpful with a coach. Now, you get all of that. They are an hour and a half long sessions each. They are on a Tuesday night. They start on the 12th, and you get all of that for $999. That is the program. Payment plans are available. I will meet you at any ridiculous payment plan you could possibly come up with. Okay. So if you're thinking I can't afford it, I really, really, really want you to reconsider what it's costing you not to do this work. That's what I would beg you to consider, because the cost of you staying where you are might be a bit more than $999. And money comes and goes, but this information will stay forever. 100% inner peace guaranteed when you do this work. So if you would like to know all of the details on paper, if you would like to talk to me about any of these things, please let me know. Oh, Jeanette, my HD unpack is amazing. Me and Jeanette had the best time last week because Jeanette was in my Soul Ignite and Energetic Ask Kickery, and you get a 2 hour long unpack with that as well. And we had so much fun. It's so validating, a human design unpack. So if yes, but it sounds like a great program, really getting down to the nuts and bolts. Absolutely, Cherie, 100%. So if you are watching the replay and you would like to know more, please send me a PM. If we're not Facebook friends, send me a friend request. And I'd be more than happy to send you the PDF printout of it so you can have a really good look through. There is never any pressure to buy from me. I want you to take your time because I want people who want to be in my programs, okay? And yeah, if money is an issue, please reach out because I will meet you wherever you are. Whatever you need, I'm happy. I just want to serve. I just want you in. Okay. So that being said, I hope that you ladies have gotten heaps, stacks and tons out of today's session. I hope that is given you food for thought around what the real self-care that is really going to make a big difference to your life experience. What I learnt about the real self-care that matters is my world didn't have to change. I had to change how I thought about my world. And once that happened, that made all the difference. So I would encourage you to have a think about it and get in contact with me. I would love to be able to serve you in this way. So that being said, ladies, if no one has any questions or anything to share, no, thank you, Amelia. Thank you so much. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or anyone has anything to share, I shall sign off, and you can always comment on some more stuff as well, and I will answer you in the comments as well. Oh, no worries, Michelle. My pleasure. Thank you, Cherie. Awesome. Lovely to see your lovely face, Jeanette, as well, as always, in the Zoom room with me. And Carla, thank you so much. My pleasure, Ines, anytime. Thanks, Milsey. Welcome back. Awesome. Oh, great. Thanks, Carla. I appreciate that. No worries, Liz. I'll be seeing you on the 12th. It's exciting. Oh, no worries, Lynn. My pleasure. Thanks, Pam. Wonderful. Yay. Oh, it's all happening. I love it. Love it. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye.